I'm located down in Delaware. We do from Salisbury all the way up to Greenwood. And as far as what I do in my business, I cut grass, do landscape and irrigation, reseed yards, mulch, whole 9 yards. I'm the only one that I have. I have one other guy. He helps me every other weekend. And as far as what I started with my business, I started off with 1 yard, and next year I built to 20 yards, and then this last yard I've gone to almost 40 yards. And just doing it by myself is a lot. Like Keena said, I am a student. I'm on my last semester here for landscape and horticulture. Yeah, I think so.
Well, I'm sure there'll be some follow-up questions, so maybe we'll start off with, we have a couple of questions. I know one question that I have is, you said you started off with a handful of yards, and now I think you said you're at 40?
Yeah, I'm almost 40 now, yeah.
Okay, so you're approximately 40 yards. So that's a lot of growth in a short amount of time. How did you plan for that, and what did you do? Did you just go out and buy new equipment? Did you lease it? How did that work?
I actually, from my parents, they had a riding lawnmower. I started off with that with a little trailer. And eventually I ended up getting big enough and went out and bought a zero turn and some other equipment. And then this past year, well no, last year I went and bought, so I've got 2 zero turns, 2 trailers, and a couple weed eaters, leaf blowers and all that stuff. I mean, so I've got everything that I think I need, but in the upcoming year I'm actually going to look into getting another zero turn and selling one of mine.
Yeah. How do you come up with your pricing? Is it per the size of the land?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the size of the yard, and just I figure how long it's going to take me. I mean, most people range, but I mean, my lowest one that I do is like $20, and I mean, it's not too bad, so.
Yeah. Are there any, I don't have the mic, are there any questions or comments?
You said something about irrigation. Can you expand on that? Do you do any irrigation?
I do irrigation. I can fix them, I winterize them. I actually have 2 or 3 that I've drawn up and I'm getting ready to put in. I don't have the equipment to put them in, but I can rent them.
Do you deal with a certain well company? Or do you recommend a certain one?
As far as right now, I've got American Water Wells up in Seaford, and they've talked to me and they've given me a good price on putting a well in and all that. So I recommend using them and all that, and I've got business cards for them.
Great, thanks.
I'm going to take advantage of asking a
Okay.
question, actually giving a little testimonial. When my husband loves to cut grass, believe it or not, we have a fairly large yard, and when he told me that he invited you to cut our yard, I was very surprised, to tell you the truth. And I also thought, oh my gosh, that yard takes over 3 hours to cut. It seems that you have the right equipment because it did not take you that long. And the other thing that impressed me was the little things that you added that probably you considered that just part of your service, but it made a difference, because we've had other people cut our grass before. Could you talk about those little things that you do?
The little things I do, I mean, I don't just cut grass. I mean, I've edged sidewalks, edged driveways. If you're in a development, I will edge along the roadway and make your yard look nice. And I don't just do it every, like, few times or something like that. I'll do it every time. I know there's a lot of people that I've talked to and where I've picked up yards that they've learned from people where they just do it a few times and then they slack off. And most of my customers, they're actually pretty happy with what I do.
How do you have a marketing plan, or do you do any marketing right now? Is it just word of mouth?
Right now is mostly word of mouth. I mean, I've put an ad on like Craigslist and stuff like that, but I haven't got a whole lot of response from it.
Okay. Maybe you can talk to Tom. Maybe you two guys can hook up. Any other questions or comments for Kyle before we wrap up? Kyle, what can we do as a community to support you and help you grow your business?
Probably just let people know what I do as far as get the name out there. I know I'm just starting off. It's probably my third year of doing it. And just get the name out there so I know, I guess so they know what I do, and as far as, I mean, yeah, just really what I do.
Just word of mouth, and then
Yeah,
you
word of
put your
mouth.
business card on everyone's
I
chair?
put my business card on all the chairs. You guys can take them with you. And if someone needs lawn cut and anything done, I mean, just give it out and I'll go look at a yard or something, so.
Okay. Do you have a Facebook page?
I don't have a Facebook page and I don't have a website.
Okay,
That's probably down the road.
okay.
The other thing I'd like to thank you for personally is we had an irrigation system that it was certainly operable, but it wasn't working efficiently and effectively as we wanted. So I want to make sure that the audience knows that you not only put the irrigation system in, but you're a problem solver for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, just one more quick question for you. I don't want to let you go just yet.
Maybe a stupid question. First of all, take a deep breath. We're all friends here, so you don't have to be quite so nervous. Well, I've been up there twice, and the second time I did it, I realized, like, people were here to help support me and help me grow my business. So, you know, don't look so nervous. You got your face, like, really red, and you just, so, you know, take a deep breath. You talked about, like, you're getting more equipment, you're getting more mowers, and yet you're the only person that's actually doing the work. I would be a little bit curious about why you would make those additional investments, and maybe if you would consider instead, it seems to me when I've seen a lot of landscaping companies, they also have like winter work, like removing snow. And like last winter, that might have been a good sideline. So now I realize you're still a student, but is there something you've thought about, like in the season when you're not cutting grass?
As far as in the season, I do want to get into doing snow removal. I just don't have the equipment, don't have the money to do it right now. And as far as getting the equipment, I mean, it's really expensive. And I don't have, like, putting a plow or something on a pickup. I don't have the size truck to mess with that. As far as getting more equipment, I buy my equipment used, so it's been through rough times and back. So, I mean, I've put a lot of hours and stuff on the mowers. And most of the time, when you hit a certain point, you really have to look into getting another one